Sea of Thieves has received its biggest update all year and quite frankly has me very excited about the game. The Legend of Monkey Island started today with a brand new tall tale and a Monkey Island themed Pirate Emporium refresh. So let's dive into this masterpiece and answer, is it worth jumping back into Sea of Thieves? Expect spoilers throughout. The Legend of Monkey Island is a 3-part tall tale series mashing the worlds of Sea of Thieves and Lucasfilm's Monkey Island franchise together. This is the second crossover with Disney and acts as a spiritual successor to A Pirate's Life. Just like A Pirate's Life, expect something for Monkey Island fans as well as for Sea of Thieves fans. The first tall tale released today, it's called The Journey to Melee Island, and it is the most in-depth and open-ended story voyage to date. Yes, it tops all 16 tall tales released previously. The premise revolves around Guybrush Threepwood being trapped in the Sea of the Damned after him and his wife Elaine Marley end up in the Sea of Thieves for their honeymoon. But something has gone wrong, and the Pirate Lord recruits you to find them. When starting up the game, choosing Legend of Monkey Island has you wake up not in the tavern, not in the castaways camp, but outside of Captain Kate Capsize's charters. The fan service is immediate and is a brilliant touch to beginning our adventure. We'll be using the portals again to access the tall tales, all of which take place here, so don't expect any other cruise to ruin your fun. The gameplay is very reminiscent of Monkey Island, mashing it well with the 3D open world style of Sea of Thieves. In fact, Sea of Thieves works fantastically in this style anyway. You'll find many instances of having to get items off NPCs, but you need to either distract them, put them to sleep, or trick them. All of this stands in your way of getting to Guybrush, who's been locked away in the governor's mansion for some time. You have to get a meet and greet pass, fix the clock in the town square, and get past the guards to the mansion. Each objective has smaller tasks for you to complete in a specific order. This sounds pretty cookie cutter, but a smart innovation has opened up the tasks a bit more. Rare has introduced the Pieces of 8 system, ripped straight from the Monkey Island games themselves. The Pieces of 8 can be found to purchase items from the shops in the game, and you need these items to progress. But because you can find them lying around Melee Island, you have more freedom on how you want to approach these objectives. There are some that you need to swipe from NPCs, but in my 4 playthroughs, I didn't get any soft locks, so it works really nicely. In the Monkey Island games, you often have to find, combine, and use items to progress through the story and solve puzzles. Rare took this style and made it the entire tall tale. Well, almost all of it. If you loved Monkey Island, you'll love this. And if you've never played it, it feels like Rare took the best bits of the legacy tall tales and sprinkled it across this. The puzzles aren't that difficult, they just require you to listen carefully to the NPCs. And if you get stuck, you just have to talk to the men of low moral fibre. They have hints on how to complete all the objectives. The journal will also keep some good information close by, like the shop prices. Rare's added a side of commendations you can progress through, and they're actually missable. Some pertain to little Easter eggs or finding all the Pieces of 8 around the map. One stumped me for ages and is incredibly well hidden. I have guides linked here and in the end screen if you get stuck on the 2 trickier ones. It took me ages to find all of Guybrush's memories, I even missed it in my first playthrough. So overall, the tall tale took me 2.5 hours, playing it blind and solo, and I missed 2 commendations. I also recently finished Secret of Monkey Island, so I was quite familiar with the layout and some of the objectives. If you're fresh, I reckon this is around 3 hours of gameplay. Don't forget, that's with the minute amount of sailing. Most of this is exploring Melee Island. I had no real bugs or game-breaking glitches, aside from some performance issues when tabbing in and out, and some dialogue wasn't heard correctly. This was not the full release build, so expect to see no issues. I think many will agree with me when I say Sea of Thieves' presentation is second to none. Rare is such a talented art team and a phenomenal music team. Would you believe me if I said Journey to Melee Island takes this even a step further? This tale's presentation is perfect. I know, that's ridiculous, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm no Monkey Island super fan, but this was special for me who has only finished the first game. Oh, and I have started the second one, don't be too harsh on me. Starting with the visuals, every moment of this game feels super special. When Melee Island peels out from behind the fog, it's one of the most gorgeous shots in all of gaming. It's even better that we get to explore basically everything we can see in this shot. From the lookout point to the town and the governor's mansion, the whole island is bathed in a purple and green aura, backed by a pale moonlight. You don't get this atmosphere anywhere else in the game, so it really stands out. The layout of the town, docks and trail is spot on. I dread to think how many hours the team had to play to get this recreated in 3D, it really felt at home. I don't want to clown on A Pirate's Life, but the transition is so much smoother when you move a video game map to another video game, rather than creating new locations based on ride attractions. It's complete fan service, but this has been done so tastefully and leaves just enough for both fans of Monkey Island and Sea of Thieves. Mancomb, the pirate leaders, Murray, the cook, Otis, they all make sound appearances. As for Sea of Thieves fans, the ending progresses the story nicely and sets up the next few tall tales in an exciting way. It actually provides a lot of answers too. Oh, and the guard in the alley plays tracks from Sea of Thieves. I found that so charming. The sound team have dialed things up to 11 too. Rare's implemented a new dialogue system, and I believe every single voice line has voice acting for it. Yes, even the dialogue options for the minor characters. Adventures and Tall Tales Past didn't even do this, so I'm incredibly excited to see this implemented in Adventures in the coming months. Having NPCs speaking makes it feel more alive, and I always love hearing the shopkeeper greet you. That's a personal favourite of mine. As you can imagine, the music is breathtaking and ties the whole presentation together. Robin Beanland creates this stuff effortlessly and proves that Sea of Thieves is his domain once more. The background music will change as you enter different areas, like in the jail when the instruments shift to harmonicas, or organs when heading into the church. The only thing that rubbed me the wrong way is being able to see the rest of Melee Island, like the zipline and the circus. If you go out of bounds, you're always pulled back by an invisible black screen. Based on the shop having some items not for sale, I think Tall Tale 2 might actually take place across the whole island, which has me incredibly hyped. As for the rewards, some people will be a bit disappointed because we just get trinkets all the time, but I'm a huge fan of these. See, we would usually get non-crossover stuff due to licensing. I think these two trinkets just walk the line where they would stay when the contract expires. I think that's the case anyways. Speaking of which, the Pirate Emporium was revealed before launch and gets the lion's share of the goodies, which is to be expected at this point. With that being said, this is the sort of thing I would like to see in the Emporium. Kicking off with the best part by far, LeChuck's Legacy ship set is the standout item. LeChuck doesn't have an iconic ship that you can really replicate. I don't know how they could do that ghost ship, but the team has done a great job making it themed after him. The sails, wheel and figurehead are the best items, with the collector's variants being the obvious choice. The LeChuck costume is something I wouldn't expect to see so early on and comes in 3 variants. Again, it's really nice, the beard just should have been a bit bushier, and they could have made this clothing pieces. The weapons are okay, they look very Dark Warsmith-esque, but fit the theme nicely. The Piranha Poodle will sell like hotcakes, I'm telling you now. It's a new breed of dog and will sell even to those people who don't like Monkey Island. It really was a no-brainer, and I will bet my bottom dollar that Scruffy will be coming next month or in September. Lastly, there's 3 portraits available, one of Guybrush, one of Elaine, and one of what I believe is a scene from Melee Island. Overall, it's a strong showing. The crossover items are always easier to stomach compared to the regular Emporium stuff. You gotta pay for those licenses somehow. In all seriousness, the journey to Melee Island is a standout for Sea of Thieves. In a time of relative uncertainty regarding the game's future, for me, this has firmly put Sea of Thieves back in my good books and has me incredibly excited about how the story is progressing. And you know what? I think this is the best Tall Tale to come out since 2019 and would place it second overall. You know I'm the moaner in chief, so if something has enamoured me this much, it's probably really good. The Tall Tale has something for all fans, and it'll be nice to see the design philosophies bleed into future content. So go play this right fucking now. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. The guides are linked on the end screen, as is my story recap if you've missed anything. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.